Hi guys, Mark here. Welcome along today to the all-new 2022 Honda CB500X. So let's take a look round this fantastic all-round motorcycle. And first off, this is very kindly loaned to me by Honda UK. So let's just start off with the price. That's one of the best things about this bike. Price is £6,599, which, when you consider, this bike's been around for quite a few years now. It's had some nice upgrades this year. It's incredibly good value for money for a very, very versatile, do everything kind of motorcycle. Comes with the ever popular 471cc parallel twin, liquid cooled double overhead cam. A very, very reliable engine with amazing economy, more of that later, and it's A2 compatible as well for new riders. 46.9 horsepower at 8,600 RPM, and torque is 43 Newton meters at 6,500 RPM. And this engine does have lots of low and mid-range torque. It's really nice from low RPMs. So this is the adventure style bike in this category. You've also got the CB500F, which is more of an all-round naked bike, and then you've got the CBR500. So this one's quite tall. The seat height is 830mm. It's a very comfortable seat, very plush and padded. But just have a look at me on the bike for a couple of seconds. Just see how I fit it. I'm 5'7" tall, 30-inch inside leg, and I weigh about 75 kilos. Just so you can see how I fit, so you can compare for yourself. Tyres on these, we've got a 110 section on the front on a 19-inch wheel, so it's quite a big front wheel for going over rough ground well. And these are running Continental tyres. And on the back we have a 160 section on a 17-inch wheel, and these have like a block tread pattern, which is sort of semi off-road. Nice big fuel tank on these, 17.5 litres, and from experience these engines give around about 80 miles per gallon UK, and that's about 3.5 litres for 100 kilometres. So they're exceptionally frugal engines, these. Six-speed gearbox on these, very smooth shifting. LCD display, we'll look at that a bit later. So the weight on these, they're coming in at 199 kilos wet weight, which isn't too bad. 180 millimeters ground clearance there. So the big updates for the 2022 model. We've got the new Showa 41mm separate function fork, big piston, upside down forks here, which give improved sort of ride quality and improved feedback. So they're really, really good. I was very impressed with them on the F model. We've now got twin discs up front, pedal discs with Nissin calipers that look to me like two piston calipers. We've got a Showa rear shock up in there, which is preload adjustable. As I say, this is one of the best value, most versatile bikes on the market, I would say. So we've got all LEDs all round. I'll try it at night time at some point and put that in the video. We've got an assist and slipper clutch, which is one of the lightest, nicest clutches you're ever going to use. We've got HISS immobiliser as standard. Got a 12-volt cigarette socket there for charging all your accessories. Very good 8,000 mile service intervals on these, which is pretty much the norm for Hondas, so great on the old servicing. Lots of Honda optional accessories for these. Got your heated grips you can get, top box. This one has been fitted with the center stand, which is a nice touch. The screen is manually adjustable with an Allen key by the look of it. You can put it up and down about 50mm by the look of it there. So there we go guys, let's do the test ride. Alright then, Honda CB500X test ride. So as soon as you get on this, oh, it's like getting back onto an old friend, it really is. The suspension's quite soft, it's quite sort of squidgy, it settles down quite a bit. I'm 5'7" tall and I can nearly get my feet flat to the ground. So if you were taller than me, say you were 5'10", 6 foot, this bike will suit you fine. If you're much shorter than me, 5'6", 5'5", you may need to get this bike lowered. So let's just run through all the controls. So we have a cable clutch, assist and slipper clutch, very light clutch, non-adjustable for spam. We have our headlight passing button, high and low beam, horn and your indicators. Over this side we have a span adjustable front brake lever, which is a nice touch, engine kill switch, hazards and your starting button. So reverse LCD display on these. So we've got our rev counter and our gear, fuel gauge, clock, engine temperature, all our warning lights. You've got all your different miles per gallon and things, so you can change that. And here you can have it on odometer or trip meters, or you can have it on your revs. So it's all pretty simple stuff really. There's no riding modes on this, but you know, that's basically what you want on a bike like this. It's just a nice, simple, do everything bike at a good price. So straight away when you start it up, it settles down to that lovely parallel twin sound. Sounds really good. This engine's well proven, it's been around for a long time now, so very easily into first gear, and the lightest clutch you've ever had the pleasure in using. Okay, so let's start off in a town just to see what the CB500's like. So obviously a bike of this sort of style will be used for quite a bit of commuting, I would have thought, going to work and the like. So just starting off with the riding position, as expected, very upright, pretty much totally upright I would say. I do love the bars on it, just a bit wider than my shoulders, nicely raked back on this clamp here, coming right back, so very nice handlebar position, do like that. Leg position's pretty much straight down, very comfortable, plenty of room. If you were taller than me, you definitely have enough leg room, plenty of room here where the tank is. So the bike's coming in at around about 200 kilos wet weight, but with the high position and the wide bars, you know, it's very easy to maneuver. It's got a really nice weight to it, doesn't feel overly heavy at all, it just feels very safe and very stable, to be honest. Makes a nice little burble on the overrun from the exhaust. Continental tyres feel very grippy. We'll try those off-road in a bit. The assist and slipper clutch, well, as I said earlier, it's probably the lightest clutch you're ever going to find. Super light, very nice, positive, easy to use gearbox. So that's excellent. So we'll just check the fueling now. We're in 4th gear, 3,000 revs, 30 mile an hour, and pleased to report there's no surging or hunting in the fueling. Sweet as a nut. Yeah, they got that just right, lovely. So no riding modes on this, it's just got a very nice throttle. It's not snatchy at all, it's just quite sort of gentle and soft really, so that's good on the throttle. Down into 1st gear, very slow manoeuvring, all very easy, just feathering the clutch. Say the beautiful thing with this engine is it's 471cc parallel twin. It's got a lot of bottom end torque, so it makes town riding a breeze because it's got lots of pull from low RPM. It's always there, it's always got the power you need, so that's great. The seat comfort, first class. I haven't been on this bike long at the moment, I've only just started riding it, but it does feel very, very spacious, loads of room to move about. It feels really comfortable and plush, so I would hazard a guess to say that this is a brilliant bike for doing many hours in the saddle on a long trip. It's about 16 degrees today here in the UK, and can't feel any heat at all coming from the engine on my legs, so that should be fine for hotter countries, I would have thought. Yeah, so just to sum up guys, CB500X, very easy bike to ride through town, very manoeuvrable. Obviously you've got quite wide bars, so that may limit you a bit going through tight gaps, but it's a very high commanding position, and all in all very easy to filter through, I would say, and make your way to work in the mornings if you had to on this. So yeah, 5 stars from me for this through town. Okay, let's try the CB500X off-road. This is typical of a sort of a fire track, sort of light trail that you'd get here in the UK. The tyres feel pretty good. Obviously the sort of semi off-road block tread pattern feel fine. Long travel suspension, it's all pretty bumpy down here, so that feels good. It's all absorbing it nicely. Just standing up now, very commanding view, nice and easy to stand up, nice wide bars, good view of everything. Bike feels very easy, doesn't feel overly heavy on this sort of gravel. Obviously the ABS can kick in if you need it to. All pretty slippery down here, but no, this is doing a sterling job of this. And obviously it's not really meant for, you know, full-on off-road, but if you had to do this sort of stuff on a daily basis, absolutely no problem at all. Actually quite impressive, because it's got that nice low down grunt from low RPM. You know, there's plenty of drive there, and yeah, it's very keen actually. So yeah guys, CB500X, no problem whatsoever in tackling light trails and tracks like this. Okay, so out on the open road now. Very keen 471cc parallel twin, plenty of mid-range there, very nice. So we'll just run through the bike in the usual fashion. So as I said earlier, very, very upright, comfortable position. I love the wide bars on it. Seats very, very plush. Engine's got a really nice response, 4, 5, 6,000 RPM, very strong. So this screen, I've got this in the highest position by the look of it. Goes up and down about 40-50 mil with an Allen key. It's doing a good job. Suspension feels very, very plush. It's not what I would call firm. The CB500F and the CBR are much firmer, but this is more of the sort of more built for comfort, I would say. Bike's got a very nice upright position. Very, very easy to truck around the bends, lots of leverage through the bars. So at this sort of 4,500 revs, can feel the slightest little buzz through the foot pegs, nothing through the bars and nothing through the seat. We'll try it on a dual carriageway later on. But yeah, it pulls from 4, 5, 6,000 very, very well. Yeah, I mean on this sort of twisty road like this, it really is good fun. You can see why this bike's been such a top seller for many years. It's just so versatile, does everything really well at a very good price as well. So the LCD dash, obviously it's not a super bright TFT, but it's more than bright enough. Even in today's sunlight, I can see all the speedo and the gears and the revs easy enough. Okay guys, so we're just out now for a little night ride to show you what the CB500X's lights are like. And so obviously the LEDs are very, very bright. That's it on low beam. Don't know how the camera's going to be picking that up. I should just flick it onto high beam. That's on high beam. And the dash is very mellow and sort of pleasing to the eye. It's quite nice actually, that LCD at night. And the rear light is very bright as well. So that's all good. Alright, let's go for a little ride. It's not quite pitch black yet, but we're not far off. Okay. It's a very, very sort of nice white light. So far looking very good. So that's on low beam at the moment. And so the camera probably won't pick this up. It generally doesn't pick it up very well. But that low beam is good, sort of like 20 meters ahead of me. And the most impressive thing is how wide the beam is. It's literally right out onto the verge there, right across the other lane, right out to the other side. So it's a very, very wide low beam. That's very impressive. So even low beam itself is very good. So now we're on to high beam. So you've got the high beam comes on, and it's like a beam down the centre of the road. So you keep the goodness of the low beam at the sides, but you've got that sort of extra beam going through the middle, straight out in front of you now. So very, very good. So there's your low, there's your high. Yeah, high beam is excellent. So that really does make night riding fun and enjoyable and safe. It's pretty dark down here now. Yeah, very, very good. Obviously you've got the indicators are always on as well, so they're very visible. So I'm just flashing the lights now. Yeah, very, very good. There's your high beam. So yeah, very good lights, guys. If you've got to do some night riding on your CB500X, no problems at all. I could quite happily ride with these for a couple of hours at night, no problem. Okay, so we're just coming on to a dual carriageway now, just to try out the higher speed capability of the 500X. Currently in top gear, 6th gear, indicated 70, turning over a very leisurely 5,500 revs. I'm pleased to report no vibrations, so to speak, through the bars, nothing at all through the seat, and the slightest buzz coming through the foot pegs. I'll just drop it down to 5th. We're now at 6,000 RPM. A little bit more of a buzz coming through the foot pegs now, but not a deal breaker at all. Yeah, a little buzz coming through the foot pegs, but nothing that bad at all. Back into top gear now. Absolutely fine. Wind protection's good. I can feel it coming right off that screen there. Nice sort of calm bubble of air here. It's quite windy today, coming from the left here. Bike's holding its line very well. Plenty of top gear acceleration if you need to. As I said, bike feels very, very stable and safe. Just a little bit slower now. One of the quite a popular modification people do is they'll put a 1/2 bigger front sprocket on these, and that will just lower the cruising revs down. So rather than getting that little buzz at sort of 6,000, if you're going a bit faster, it will drop the revs down to about 5,000. But yeah, this is absolutely fine, guys. Very, very easy cruising. I think, to be honest, these new 2022 models, they seem to feel a little bit smoother than the previous ones. Maybe it's just me, maybe this one's done 2,500 miles, it's more running, but I felt the same on the F model that I reviewed about a month ago. That seemed a little bit smoother to me as well, around about that 6,000 revs mark. So anyway, guys, top marks for the 500X for that higher speed cruising. Definitely a bike you could use for touring. Load up with your luggage and away you go. Great stuff. I'll just show you some roll-ons. We're in 4th gear at the moment. Wide open throttle. So there's your 50 and there's your 60. So it's very snappy. It's a very playful engine. It's very revvy, but again with that nice bottom end as well. Top speed on this, I'm just estimating around about 110 miles an hour, give or take a bit. So we're just cruising at the moment, 60 miles an hour, just over 4,000 revs. Virtually no vibrations at all, which is very good. I must admit, the new front end, the new Showa front forks, upside down forks, are a big improvement. The ride comfort and the sort of feedback from the front feels excellent. 60 mile an hour, we'll just try a brake test, nothing behind, front and rear together. Cool, they're good, very strong. And it does the thing where it flashes both indicators as like a hazard warning. So all good on the brakes. Yeah, it's very, very playful through the mid-range. Maximum power is about 8,000 on this. I've been on this bike for about an hour now. Still no problems at all with the seats or num bum. It's got very, very nice compliant suspension actually. So we're currently showing an absolutely amazing average miles per gallon of 88 miles per gallon. I've been riding it around about 60 miles an hour. What I'll do is I'll do a final thoughts review next week and I'll work it out exactly. But these engines are renowned for being super economical, so I don't disbelieve that figure there. Makes a lot of sense at the moment with our fuel prices. Yeah, you can easily see why this is one of Honda's most popular sellers. It's just such a good all-round bike. Cheap to run, good fun, super reliable, and it can basically sort of do anything really. You could chuck a top box on the back and some panniers. You know, if you don't ask too much of it, it will do 2 up, no problem. Cruise all day at 70 or a bit more. All the switch gear is very tactile, typical Honda quality. That's lovely. Yeah, brakes are great. Right, it's my famous little walk around place. So into neutral, just see what it's like into first, and neutral, first, neutral. So super easy there. Give you a little sound check. Sounds great. Right, I'll just leave it running to let you see the headlight and the indicators. So LEDs all round on this. Very good. Don't know if you can see the rear light there. Great stuff, guys. What a brilliant bike, as good as it always was. I actually owned one of these back in about 2015 and had a few thousand miles on it. It was very impressive then. So what's it like to push around? Yeah, I mean, it needs a bit of a heave off the side stand, but not too bad. And its turning circle is pretty decent. It's got a nice grab rail at the back there. Right, this one's got a centre stand fitted as an optional extra. Let's see what it's like to put on. Oh, very, very easy. So that's good news. Right, so let's have a final walk around. So this is obviously the green. They do it in a black and a red as well. So the new updates, as I said earlier, show upside down forks, separate function fork. Nice strong Nissin brakes. These are 2 piston calipers. I do believe on the F model and the CBR that they're 4 piston calipers, but these still provide really good stopping power. Super reliable, bulletproof 471cc parallel twin there. Been around for years. I did take the seat off. It's a bit of a faff to get it back on. There's this annoying little clip there. There's a little bit of storage under the back there for a drink or something, so a little bit of storage, but you can fit top boxes and everything to these. Decent dual purpose Continental tyres there with your block tread pattern. This bike is on 2,500 miles, I forgot to say, and it was used through the previous winter here in the UK, and all in all it's looking pretty good. There's a few little sort of bits here and there where you can see the salt's got on the exhaust, and a few little bits here, but generally, you know, for a bike that's been ridden through the winter, you know, it's holding up very well. You know, all the fittings look good still, so testament to Honda build quality for you. So 6-speed transmission, chain drive. Yeah, I mean, you absolutely can't go wrong with one of these guys. They're such a good all-rounder. And there's your screen in the highest position. Alright guys, well please post your comments down below. It's such a popular bike this, so I'm sure there's lots of people out there with these. Please give me a like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you again in another week or so on this particular bike amongst others. Alright guys, ride safe, all the best, bye for now.